really interesting as well. So now we start balancing our vulnerability with our pain points and our lifted states. And then it's really interesting to start looking at what you've been sharing and where you're getting the most traction. And from those posts that are getting the most traction, you start delving more into that and seeing if you can grow that kind of vibe. And it may take you a little bit away from your niche. Like sometimes I'm absolutely amazed with what converts and what doesn't. But I think it always, for me, comes back to alignment. I come back into myself and go, was I in, I kind of love nature. And so, was I really grounded? Did I go and take time to do my journaling? And as well, I know it sounds crazy, but that book, The Secret, The Magic, that just gets you to do gratitude, like the Abraham Hicks version style. I mean, that is just gold. My whole life started really, really changing when I started using gratitude, and then I started using gratitude to make embodied beliefs. And so, for example, what that taught me is last night we had friends over and everyone was watching a movie, and I don't like movies with guns and stuff like that and with lots of hate and violence. And I was watching it going, and someone was really putting someone down. And I decided to turn every nasty thing they said to the person into an embodied belief for myself. So he was like, "You'll never do it." And I was there holding my arm, which is like my anchor point for locking in embodied beliefs to get aligned as fuck, to get up and show up as the sort of person I'm going to be, as the vision beyond the vision and the fully expressed version of myself. And I'm there going, "You'll never make it." And I'm like, "I can make it. I will make it. I am making it. You'll never be anything in your life. I am so valuable and loved in my life." And I was fucking with the TV, just like to create this amazing story. So get aligned, balance your pain points, lift the state, be vulnerable, and then start seeing what's working, what's really working. And then we're going to have to ask for some money. So, there's that saying, to make money, you need to spend money. And I'm really getting that now. So after everything I've shared, what I'm trying to say is that, do you really need your website perfect? Do the colours need to be perfect? Do you need a logo? Do you need a business plan? So for, to get started, you don't need any of that. And that's where my husband and I were really different when we first got to Mallorca and started our businesses. I got the business plan. I was getting the logos and the stickers made and the business cards and the flyers and everything for Palmer Health. He just got up and walked out the door one day and said, "I'm going to start servicing winches," and went and bought a few tools, made 3 phone calls, and off he went. More of an organic marketing form. And 6 years later, I'm just starting to get his website built today, actually, and start getting into, getting the Vector logo and all that done. So often you waste so much time fluffing around with trying to make websites and logos and all of that stuff perfect. And what's working at the moment is, I went to an amazing conference recently, and, they were saying, no one's really interested in the pretty website anymore. The websites that are converting the most are just black and white and actually quite boring. I know when I started this work, 10 years ago, they were saying to write and write and write and write. And, you see some of those funnels that just go the whole story, then in big bright red as sell, buy, buy, buy. And, start noticing those click boxes, because it's really important that you do have a valuable free offer, and you want to be sharing that in your posts as well. So, you want to start creating your story, creating your personality, but give people somewhere to go to, because people are kind of stupid. That you don't need it to be an amazing, flashy website, just send them somewhere and give them something for free. It's just a really good way to get in there and start building your list. And what I'm really seeing as the internet's going nuts, is how important it is to actually come back to that email list that many of us have got away from, because we've been using social media. But, Facebook could shut down any day and you'd lose all your contacts. Unless you get those emails in a list, they're yours. So how we're going to do that, we also want to start getting ads out there. And so I've certainly found that by making ads that, go on, for Google, for YouTube, for Facebook, just boosting a post even is so profitable. And once you have worked out your balance of storytelling, of lifting states, of pain points, not vomiting your shit all over the internet, just sharing, then you can start creating your ads. So, what I do is my posts that convert the most, I might, put that on my page and boost it. So then I'll get a larger audience. And I'll also start going through everyone that liked my posts, going, okay, what's their job? Most of them are yoga instructors, nutritionists, naturopaths, MLM and health and wellness people that are struggling to get their business online, or they really like what I have to say, or they really see me as an expert in my field. But I go back and look into them and see what countries they live in, what sports they like, what their age is, and then I make my advertising demographic suit them and fit them. And so it's better to be around 3 people and be talking directly to them than have it really broad. So when I first started Facebook marketing, I had people, I was just trying to go for the broadest audience. So I was going, targeting people in South Africa, and I realized that lots of people in South Africa were checking out the internet and that they play golf and were farmers. I'm not a farmer and I haven't played golf since I was 18, but I was getting all this response. I was getting all these leads, but they were really shit leads because I couldn't really relate to these people, and most of them ended up being old sleazebags that just wanted to date me or get me to send them money or something. So, you're better off to really start targeting your audience, targeting your message to the people that you want to be your soul tribe. So go for quality rather than quantity, but don't be scared to start putting some money into it. So, if I put 750 euros into my advertising this week and make 1,500, yeah, I've spent loads on ads, but I've also made an extra 750 profit that I wouldn't have made without that. And that's what I've realised, is that I'm finding that the days of just, of the traditional click funnels, and the fully automated system, I'm finding that only works to a certain degree. The way everyone wants to feel special, everyone wants a private message, and everyone wants a message that doesn't look like it's cut and pasted and really generic, unless you're really trying to sell that 90% automated system. But I like to have a chat to people. I like to say hi and find out about them and see if they're a fit for me. I don't actually want them in my business if they aren't a fit. I don't want some old sleazy dude that plays golf and lives at, spit roasts and drinks rum and is going to crack on to the beautiful, amazing soul team members in my tribe. Do you know what I mean? So it's really important to do that. And so now we need to start looking into how we're going to advertise and how we're going to invest in our business to get that back. So whatever you invest in, I believe you should get at minimum double back, if not more. But it's something you can just start playing around with. So, if you've got a Facebook page, start, sharing your posts and sharing them to a demographic that is basically the soul tribe you're calling in. And then when you see, I did one the other day, some of you might have seen it, and it had pictures of watermelons, and I'm just talking about how fascinating I find it, how, I know it's walk time, how people will buy, that will go and buy watermelons and they're full of basically water, but there's no chlorine in it. And I was talking about how amazing I thought it was that fruit is like the fruit skin, and the way fruit grows is one of the most powerful water filters on earth. That post went viral. I never expected that, but I have had so many people commenting and liking that, which isn't actually selling anything. There's no There's no free offer attached to that. There's no call to action attached to that, but it's bringing people around to my page to see what else I do, which is when there's going to be calls to action. And so what I do is I try and only advertise my wares and do a direct, like, I love my Kangen water, or this is our winch business, or come and get, adventure medical training, or come on an adventure retreat with me. I try and only do those posts once a month. Sometimes I get a bit excited, and because I've got I'm really into multiple streams of income. So sometimes I'll post each one of those a month, but try and make it minimum every week. No one wants to see your teeth whitener, your CBD oil, and the same old products going over and over and over again. So just make sure you're really aware of that. Balance it out with storytelling and sharing. And so a really good example of that is you can just start monetizing and sharing stories on like anything. So, for example, when I was at this branding conference that a couple of you actually were at, I think, one of the things they said to us was, first of all, just be whoever you want to be. That's always been my thing. I reckon once you're 30, you should get paid to be you. So how are you going to do that? How are you going to show up? And every morning, if you wake up going, okay, if I'm already making $2,000 a day, and I've got, 100 people in my team, and I've got, this all working for me, how am I going to show up? So this morning, it was cold, it was hailing outside, it was freezing. And I was like, oh, God, I just really feel like going back to bed, and, maybe I can just record it and send everyone the recording. And that was like my self-sabotage as well, which is massive in me. And I'm sure it is with all of you. It's a sneaky little thing. And it's like, no, like as this version of myself that shows up, I'm going to show up. I'm going to share. And so then we start sharing our stories, and it could be something as simple as, a football game, so at the story, actually, yeah. So, let's say this is a story they shared at this branding conference, and, let's say you go to a basketball game or a football game, and, you don't even want to be there. It's the last thing you want to do, but you're there because you're watching your best friend's kids. But you notice like the winners are showing up, they're confident, they're strong, they've got really good teamwork skills, and their presence is just, really attractive. And the losers are a bit scruffy and messy and not really, working in form together. And so you look at that football game and you're like, oh, okay, how can I tell a story about this football game and then monetize it? So, hey guys, it's Mandy here. I'm just at this football game. Does anyone here like football? No, me either. I'd much rather be on the beach kite surfing right now, or eating watermelons, or researching how much chlorine's in a watermelon by myself, because that's the geeky stuff I do. That, I'm at this football game and I noticed that some people are doing really well and some people aren't. And I notice how the winners are presenting themselves, and they're confident and they're clean and they're tidy and they work in uniform. And the losers are scruffy and da-da-da. So if you want to be a winner, how about you get on my How to Be a Winner webinar that I'm going to do tomorrow, and I'm going to show you the top 3 secrets. Everyone likes secret answers to their pain points. Have you noticed that at the moment? Secrets are converting really well. So I'll give you the my 3 secrets on how to be a winner, how to win every game, how to win your game, or something like that. And then we share a story. I didn't want to be here today, but I'm here, and it's actually really cool because I've just worked this out, and oh my God, I'm so inspired. And you can do that about anything. You could be shopping and seeing what's in people's, I do that a lot at the time when I'm supermarket shopping. I'm trying not to be so, aggressive in my environmental message at the moment. It's just something I'm trying, because I felt like I was sort of vomiting my don't use plastic water message all over the place. But, when I'm shopping and I see I find it bizarre that people still use like products like Windex and plastic water that they drink from plastic water bottles. Like, I just think it's archaic. So say I'm in a supermarket and I see those products, I can create a story around that. I'm not targeting anyone directly. I'm not using any names. I'm not naming and shaming anyone. I'm just sharing a story that someone's going to really relate to and tune into and really identify. And then I'm going to solve their pain points from that story. So, everyone wants to be a winner and win at their game. And so, let's make a really cool version of it's something we can share, 3 secrets on how to be a winner that people want to come in and, let go of, and grow and learn how to be a winner and learn how to make more conversions, which is pretty much what we're doing here right now. Then we finish off by lifting their pain, and that's where we've got to come back into taking aligned action to get grounded and get vibed, and even listening to some high vibe music, even if you're just going to journal or just handwrite a post or take a photo, because the energy is really coming through. And so the more that you can, show up as that, high vibe person of yourself. Have you ever seen those list of like the different hertz and frequencies to different states of being? So like enlightenment is at 1,000, peace is at 800 hertz, I think. Joy is like 500, for example. I can't remember exactly what it is, but when you're coming from a vibe of over 500 hertz, you are infectious. You are healing everyone around you. Your vibe is wearing off, like that charismatic person that walks into the room. And so, the more you can get into that vibe before you put your post up and you add up, the more of that energy that's going to get out into the world. So, has anyone got any questions? I can see there's some chats. Not actually. Thank you. I've just got a few messages here. It's a bit hard to read them, but Eloise just said, loving it. Awesome. That's great. And love that post. Edgy as fuck. Was that the vagina one? So yeah, I think, it's probably a good time to wrap it up. Anyone got any questions? I think, Elle, you might be the only one left, actually. Love you too. Awesome. So, hey, how are you?
That was that one that you were talking about. I'm at work at the moment, so I've just been having the camera and stuff off so I could just listen to you talking, but it was really valuable. Thank you.
Oh, good. Yeah. Was it anything, because you're a bit of a sales genius, was it anything useful for you that you hadn't heard? What was your biggest takeaways?
Well, at the moment, I'm a bit stuck with overwhelm, I need to figure out kind of a schedule of how I'm going to post and that kind of thing. But there's so much mixed information. Like just before I jumped on your live, I was listening to just a live when I was having my lunch, and someone was like, "You need to post, up to twice a week. You've got to do your email list and all this." And so it's like there's so much mixed information, but I think it's just whatever suits you guys. And also, I think that the message of not kind of overly promoting a specific product or brand within your own Facebook is really good.
Yeah.
Because I sometimes get into where I put the link to my online, to my live water demos and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, sure. I feel like I go back and delete them after a while because I feel like it kind of is a bit off message at times, and I've been very cautious of kind of oversharing on Facebook about that because I would rather be seen as a coach first and then the water is something else I do.
Yeah, I think that's really valuable too, because if you look at, there's quite a few people that are watching this today from Kangan, and one thing I've really learned watching, the people that I look up to in the whole industry is that many of them are going 360. So a lot of people were going that they were doing the traditional water route, but now they're really showing up as coaches. And so many people are just showing up as themselves, as their fully expressed version of themselves. So I was at another, when I saw you on the Goldie, I was at a big event there, and the guys that were running that, you know, they all got up on stage and danced, like, remember?
I think I remember you were saying about that.
Yeah, you know, they were like Young Talent Team, you know, which we used to watch as kids if you're in Australia. And that was just them being themselves, you know. And just once you tap into that vibe of being you, the rest comes. So, you know, like that vagina post, that had nothing to do with water. That was just me doing probably one of the scariest things I've ever done, because I'm really trying to flirt with fear at the moment, and really delve into that and think, does fear have to be a message to stop, or is it actually something going, let's get excited, let's go and challenge ourselves a bit. And you know, I never expected to sell a Kangen water machine and get, you know, 4 leads from that. But I never get any from when I just spew my water all over the internet. And also what you want to look at too is if for some reason your water business or your vitamin business or your telephone business shuts down, or you get sacked, or it completely just goes obsolete, that you're still your brand, you know? Yeah. So you want people to cleverly know what you do without it just being all over the place. And I just think that's massive. Yeah. That, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there was definitely some good takeouts actually. I have.
Oh, cool. Give me another 2 before we finish up. What else did you like?
What were the notes? Let me just check. Make it seem like you're just talking to one person.
Yeah.
So I sometimes feel that when I'm writing stuff, because I send lots of business emails all day, and like I communicate in business email back and forth, factual, and very clear about my, like, this is the thing with this thing and this thing, and this is how much it is, kind of like the, like, back and forth after you maybe close that someone wants to purchase something like that, then it's down to the nitty gritty details. And because I do Telstra stuff, like, you have to be so mindful of what you write, because people can use your written words as fuel to get back at you.
Yeah.
For shit about plans and stuff. Like, it's weird.
Yeah.
I've had stuff taken out of context like that, and so then I think sometimes when I'm trying to copy your Facebook posts, I sound really robotic. Like, factual. I don't have any kind of emotion in my like, not my voice, but there's less emotion, and I feel like inside is very emotional. Like, oh, this is beautiful, amazing.
Yeah, and you are quite an emotional person, so it's funny, isn't it? You know, maybe you just got to get bridge that gap of vulnerability to just start feeling.
The creamy center part.
What's that?
Get into the creamy center.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Yeah.
And then what else? Polarized niche style looks really. Then I was thinking, actually, because before we spoke today, I've been working on this thing for my, trying to like nut out the website stuff and whatever, and I'm like, even just to have my Facebook page, my Facebook group, like my profile photo, I'm trying to tee up with my friend who's a professional photographer to get some beautiful photos done.
Yeah.
For that, and then like making a background on Canva last night, I was like fiddling around with it, and I was just like, I could spend literally days doing it. And in fact, as I was listening to you, I also gathered from my drawer about 20 business cards out of about 300 that companies I like, because it got me to thinking, like, they all have really similar color schemes.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, I'll just go with the thing that I like the most that's visually appealing to me.
That's exactly what I started doing. I started just picking. I pick up cards all the time. Like, I've got, you know, even in my diary at the moment, I'm carrying these things, and it's the same. Like, you know, so there's the sort of colours I keep picking up at the moment, whereas they used to be blues.
Aqua yellow white with like black line writing that's got no frilliness about it.
Yeah.
I like noticed it because as you were talking about website, that was the thing that I really liked actually about websites and not needing to have a really hectic website, but white space on websites and white space in copy. And I was like, because I keep on thinking, I'm going to have like, navy blue background, this thing, that thing, this thing, and I'm always going to wear a hot pink lipstick and this will be my brand. And I was like, actually, just fucking white space.
Yeah.
Because it leaves you, and then I've read like a thing about colour and marketing before, like, because I've just been thinking about all this stuff, and it's so funny that you've come and like literally answered everything that I was looking at today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really great. Like what you were talking about was literally everything that I've been thinking about today.
Awesome.
Apart from my actual job work stuff. But
Good, I can't help you there.
That's really weird. I'd love to talk more about it actually. I sent you some messages on Facebook Messenger that were more private as well as I was talking to you. So that was cool. And then, white space. And then I was like, good. And then I was like, happily, bubbly, fun, high vibe. Mixed pain point, share mixed pain point sort of stuff with uplifting to keep people like not always in the Debbie Downer.
Yeah.
That was something that I liked. And then be a doctor to their pain point and then like a private investigator. I really liked how you explained that.
Awesome.
Very cool. Amazing.
Yay.
Lovely, actually. I'm so glad that I was able to pop onto that. It was just a little, when you sent me that message that came through, I was like, I'm going to have to wangle this somehow, but it turned out to work fine.
That's amazing, I know. Thanks for staying on for the whole thing too.
Yeah. All right, darling. Well, thank you so much. There was lots of excellent info in there.
Yay. All right, let's speak soon. I'll speak to your messenger. And I'll just check in with my others. Anyone else?
Yeah, no worries.
Oh, no, I think everyone's left. Awesome. All right, lots of love. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.